if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm always worried about their water consumption throughout the day, and so I've read that if you give them a bottle of water after their bottle, that really helps, and has a lot of benefits to it. So this is the first calf I've ever done this with, so we'll see. Ah. See, it's funny because he knows this is not milk, so he always gets mad, and sometimes he drinks it and sometimes he don't. Are you mad? He's so mad. He's so mad. He's so mad. Now I'm just going to say here, I normally get my feed in bulk, but they did not have my special feed. So I ended up having to get bags, and I'm trying to work through these bags before I make the drive back to get my bulk feed. You'll see here, this is my nurse cow pen. Typically, what I like to do is when a cow has a calf, I will let it raise multiples, depending on how much milk they produce. And I can raise anywhere from 2 to 3 calves on a cow. Just kind of depends. This is Ellis's calf. He needs to be weaned. I just haven't had the time to do it yet. I have a 2-quarter cow that came from a commercial dairy, and she only raises 1 calf. So it just kind of depends on the cow. And then typically after about 12 weeks, just depending on the calves, I will wean them, have milk tested, and then bring those cows back into my milking rotation. Hey, my girl. Hey, my girl. Hey, how are you? How are you? Yeah, I know. You're talking to me. So you act like you don't come out and eat every day. That's AK. I have to do something funny here for a second. I didn't think about not having hands, and Boss Man likes to go in front of everybody. That's Spunky. He is 33 this year. Hey, pretty boy. Hey, pretty boy. Hey, Rain. And Red. And Red. So this girl's getting pretty close to freshening. You can see she's got quite a bit of edema in her bag. Her pins they're dropping. They're working their way there. I always like to come out and check every single day and every morning. Hey, Red. Hey, honey. What you doing? Now my horses, they don't have any kind of lane or anything. They just walk out of the fence that you seen them come out a second ago, and they walk straight to the barn. They're pretty food motivated. So a lot of times they come right in, go straight to their pans. They know which one is which. Sometimes it's chaos because Spunky is 33, so he gets a senior feed, and a lot of times the other two want to come in and get good bites of his before they go to theirs. And speaking on Spunk, he's 33. We've been together for 30 years. And a lot of times Justin and I will tag team this. So you go out and you get your cows outside fed. Come in, get your halters on the horses. and it's pretty simple process. But he was down in the basement cleaning the milk tank, so I just did it on my own tonight. And you can kind of see here where I will put the inflations on at different times. And the reason that I do that is because that suction on an empty quarter can actually hurt the inside of that teat, so the orifice. It can cause calcification over time, that sort of thing. So I time it out to where all 4 quarters get done at the same time. And you can actually see on that board, right, that I'm holding on to right there. I have all of these numbers written on there. So that's what that is all the cows I have a different set of numbers as to when I hook their inflations up. In case you're wondering, that's not coffee in there. Everybody knows what that sound means. Wiggles gets treats too. Take it easy, baby girl. Ow, my fingers. No, this hand. Are you booty? Hang on, Ethel. Hang on, Ethel. So right now we don't have a hay shed because we keep using all of our space in the barn for cow things and horse things. So we use a tarp, and it's like a, I don't know, so it's super thick. This is what it's made for. We've used it for 2 seasons and it already has holes in it. So next on our list is to buy a hay shed, or to build a hay shed. And it's kind of hard to tell, but we don't really have a whole lot of room to turn around, and so you kind of have to pay attention when you're backing up. That's for sure. And you can see they're waiting. They're waiting on us. They're spoiled. They think if they've got hay sitting on the ground for longer than 36 hours that they need a new roll, which they are right, but and then you have babies like that, and everybody wants to be in the way. What is it, Carol? This is Carol. As crazy as this sounds, I bought Carol in 2020 from the stockyard out of the butcher pen for $380. She was my very first, actually that was 2019. She was my very first milk cow. And I used her to raise calves, which she freshened about a month or so ago. Maybe a little longer than that. And she's got 2 Swiss that I got from a farm up in Siler City, North Carolina, and her calf, which is one of them 2 black ones right there. And I generally like crossing my jerseys, my dairy cows with beef because they make great calves. So they're not going to bring as much as a straight Angus or straight beef calf typically would, but they bring a lot more than straight dairy. And so personally I enjoy raising these little cross calves, and they seem to grow very well. They seem to feed out very well. My problem is I don't have a ton of room here, and so I'm to a point where I grew so quick with my dairy cattle that I don't have the room for the calves. So 9 times out of 10, I have some friends up in Floyd, Virginia, that they buy them for beefs, and that's typically where they all head to. I have a handful of people local, but I don't trust just anybody with my calves, and I know that's crazy. I know a lot of people say that, you know, it doesn't really, you know, when you sell them, you have no say-so over them, and that is 100% true. My issue is I love my calves, and I want to make sure that while they're here on this earth, they have the absolute best life that they could possibly have. And like I said, I know that sounds crazy, but that's just how I am. So Myra and Mark and Scotty, they all, like I said, they raise several beefs a year, and they get most of my calves. So I know that Myra has a curry comb, and any animal that will let her touch it gets brushed on a daily basis. So I always like to make sure that my calves go to good homes, and I know they take care of them.
I have my night kisses. I have my night kisses. No night kisses from you. Are you mad because I don't have a bottle? I don't have a bottle. My sweet boy. It's the sweetest old boy. Oh, it's the sweetest old boy. He'll be good. So you'll cuddle up in your hay. Cuddle up in your hay.
Okay. Let me actually get out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So this is my cooling tank, and it has a removable butterfly valve so that it can be cleaned properly, and it also caps over, which a lot of times Justin washes this stuff or I wash it, and he puts it in a different place than I do, and I spend more time looking for it than hooking it all up. And used to, before, I mean, when we were only handling like 3 or 4 gallons a day, we did not have this, because this tank has a minimum. That basically it's got the, you can see the paddle in it. So that keeps it all stirred up. That way it doesn't freeze when it's cooling it. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm messy when it comes to this stuff. Just wipe it off when I get done and go on about my day. And I mean, these things are really not meant to have the lid open to pour this stuff in, but they typically, you can use a filter, and that filter goes in this big hole up here. Well, you can see it when it's up. But I have an inline filter. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's on my, it's in my line. And I like it, I'll show you here in just a second. I like it because I can actually look while I'm milking to make sure I don't have any mastitis problems. So I mean, that filter's, you know, pretty decent. You'll see some little specks of dirt, and sometimes that's unavoidable. Normally the last thing I do at the end of the day, just because I work a full-time job, I always get my milk ready from the calf, because it just makes my life a touch easier in the morning. I have everything ready to go. All I gotta do is put my bottle together, get some water in it, and mix my stuff up. So and I probably should have started this video by introducing myself, but I'm pretty new at this, so give me a little bit of grace. My name is Amelia. Justin is my other half that you've seen on the tractor and helping me. And we are JW Farms. So we live in North Carolina, northwest part of North Carolina. And we have been running a micro dairy for about 4 years. Got my start in nurse cows, and that's still what I love to do. So I still have nurse cows, but I found out that I love to milk cows. So if you've made it this far, I really want to say thank you. We are trying to turn our dream of a legit micro dairy into a reality. So if you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. Hopefully we'll catch you next time.